Sivaya Nama Thiruppaatu. Welcome back to our discussion on Thiruppaatu. Today we are continuing our discussion on the 5th verse from the 58th Thiruppathikam. Kundalam kuzhaithigazh kaathaney yendrum kodumazhu vaal padai kuzhaganey yendrum alambum malar kondraiyan yendrum vaai veruvi thozhuthen vithiyaley pandai palamanamum kalainthu onraai pasupathi pathi vinavil palanaalum Kundalam karai odam vandu kazhumala valanagar kandu kondene. In this verse, Nambi Aarorar is teaching us how we should be worshipping. He says, as in he is actually saying as if he is performing it, but actually it is a lesson for us to do. So he says, I'm actually singing about the praises of Lord Shiva. And the praises go something like this. The person who is wearing nice earrings, the earrings are something that is very contradicting. If you look at yogis, they will be wearing one kind of earring, whereas when you talk about a lady, she will be wearing a different kind of a earring. Lord Shiva has got both, which means when you look at the left side of Lord Shiva, he shows as if he's an Ardhanarishwarar, and when you look at the right side of him, he shows as if he's a yogi. So the great yogi, as well as he is in the form of Ardhanarishwara, which is the Bhogam and the yoga kind of an appearance. Not only that, he is also having a weapon in his hand which is called as vaal. Why is Lord Shiva having a weapon in his hand? Obviously not to promote terrorism. That is never going to be working in Saivism. We are totally against that, because the first thing we are talking about is to control our mind. We are waging a war against our minds. We are waging a war against something that is within us and which is trying to sabot us the entire time. What are those? We all know. Our eyes is taking us in one direction, our ears is taking us in another direction, our skin is taking us in another direction, our mouth is diverting us into another direction. We are getting diverted. The enemies are not outside. No human being is our enemy. Why? Because we are all siblings. We are all siblings. We are all from the same blood. So we are not going to consider one another as our enemy. The enemy is within us. Our minds, our 5 sense organs. What we should be doing is controlling it. When we are not able to do that, that is where we need to surrender ourselves to Lord Shiva, and he has the weapon so that he can help in controlling our organs, our senses, our minds, our thoughts. That's exactly we are seeing Lord Shiva with the weapon, and he says, you know what, I'm actually singing praises about Lord Shiva, and I keep praising him, and this mouth, the words that I'm going to talk about is only going to be used for that purposes. So he says that I'm actually using this kind of words for that. And then he also has another beautiful statement. He says, this particular mind is in dual state. Right now, the heart, the mind that we have is in every single place. We all know idle mind is devil's workshop. When I'm idle, the devil just takes over. And I keep thinking about, do I think about pleasant situations? No. Do I think about pleasant experiences? No. Do I think about happiness? No. Obviously, I'll be dragged towards the negativity. And what happens when I'm dragged towards negativity is everything around me, I start feeling everything around me in a very, very negative manner, and I start hating myself, and that is where the entire negativity takes over the human brain. Now, if you look at it, he says, our heart is segregated into so many parts. In so many parts that we are not able to converge in one particular area. We can even see this right now. If you look at it, our mind is in Australia for 1 minute, the next minute it jumps to America, another minute it jumps to Canada, another minute it jumps to New Zealand, another minute it goes to Moon, Mars, Uranus. If you look at it, our mind is so damn fast, faster than a monkey actually. So How do we control this? We won't be able to control it until we surrender ourselves, and that is exactly the third line talks about here. Our mind is distracted and it is diverging in many places. Now what we have to do is surrender ourselves to Lord Shiva, and what he will do in turn is he will converge this into oneness. What I need to achieve at the end of the day is achieve oneness, where I can be a powerful soul. I can be someone that can take control of myself. I don't need to take control of someone else. Someone else's life is not under my control. If I'm able to control my own mind, if I'm able to control my own sense organs, I've already achieved. What we need to do is wage war against our own senses, our own mind, make sure that we are able to converge this onto a oneness kind of a situation, and that is the success. That is the success of this particular birth. We don't need to consider someone else as our enemy. There is no one in this world as our enemy. Only enemy that we have is within us. And this is what Saivism is trying to say, and this is what Lord Shiva is trying to help us with, and this is what all our Thirumurais is trying to explain to us in different manner. What we have to do is just surrender ourselves, so that the mind that has already expanded his tentacles all over this world, it can converge to one particular point, and we can start being or feeling the oneness. That's exactly this particular padigam, this particular verse talks about. I'll come back again with the next verse very soon. Until then, Sivaya Nama, Thirchitrambalam.